Sophie, a teenage girl, has a dream in which a man is raking leaves by a swimming pool. As Sophie starts floating up to the sky, she cries for help from this man whom she calls Dad. This man, Paul Matthews, is a biology professor who begins appearing in the dreams of random people, many of whom do not know him. In the dreams, calamity occurs or the dreamers ask for help, but Paul is passive or emotionless and does not intervene. When Paul learns a former colleague is considering writing a book on a topic he had many years earlier discussed with her, he seeks to confront her but instead begs her for some recognition. Paul's journalist ex-girlfriend, Claire, spots him with his wife, Janet, and tells him he appears in her dreams. With his permission, she writes an article about the experience. Soon, hundreds of strangers recognize him from their dreams. While Paul enjoys the media coverage this brings, he is frustrated by his depiction in the dreams as passive and uninteresting. Paul's wife, Janet, asks why he does not appear in her dreams. She describes her fantasy. Paul rescues her while wearing the oversized suit. A mentally ill man sees Paul in his dreams and breaks into the house with a knife, raising concerns about the risks of his fame. Paul meets with a public relations firm, hoping to get a book deal, but they attempt to convince him to advertise Sprite on social media. After an assistant at the firm tells him about her erotic dreams about him, he attempts to reenact them for her, but he suffers premature ejaculation and flatulence, and he leaves, humiliated. Paul is enraged to learn that the former colleague has published a paper on the subject he was thinking of writing his book about. His presence in people's dreams becomes violent and sadistic, and he becomes vilified. He is placed on leave after students refuse to attend his classes. Bystanders begin to notice Paul in public and are bothered by his presence, resulting in a brawl in a diner. After Janet's career is affected, she asks Paul to make a public apology, but he angrily refuses. After Paul has a nightmare in which he is hunted and killed by a version of himself with a crossbow, he releases a self-pitying apology video. Humiliated, Janet throws him out of the house. Paul forces his way into his daughter's school play, but accidentally injures a teacher in the process and is restrained. He becomes further vilified. Sometime later, the dreams have stopped. In light of the discovery of a shared subconsciousness, dreams have become an advertising space. Janet is separated from Paul and is dating a coworker. Paul travels to France for a book tour to promote his dream scenario. He learns it has been retitled Je suis ton cauchemar, I am your nightmare, without his consent. He uses dream travel technology to attempt entering one of Janet's dreams and rescue her while wearing the burned suit. As he floats away, much like how Sophie did in the very first dream, Paul declares that he wishes the dream was reality.